Hi, I'm Dr. Blaze Ryan, and I have an unusual parenting story to share with you today. This story is about how I learned 3 simple keys about discipline that transformed my son's behavior. Now, my son listens to me all the time, and I never have to raise my voice. Is he an angel all the time? No, of course not. He still tests me even to this day, just like any healthy child. But the difference is that now I know how to respond to his behavior. And he listens to me and he respects me, so he doesn't throw tantrums now, and he's become amazingly cooperative. In fact, he even does chores around the house without me asking, and he's only 6 years old. How did I do it? Well, a lot of what really worked for me is stuff you probably won't read about in the parenting magazines, and I bet it will work for you too. You see, I've spent years researching the most effective ways to improve children's health, happiness, intelligence, and behavior, and I've written many reports and books on the subject. So if you're watching this right now and you're feeling at all confused or worried or even like a bad parent because your child is out of control, I want you to listen to this very carefully. It's not your fault. And for many parents who watch this entire presentation, they feel as if a big burden has been lifted when they finally understand why. I'm going to tell you my story because it's probably very similar to your own. I'm also going to share some shocking scientific facts about child behavior. Now, it doesn't matter if you're a parent, a grandparent, or a babysitter. Anyone who struggles with getting any child to listen will relate to this story. And if you watch this entire video, which may not be online very long, I'll do more than just tell you a story. I will give you the solution that I discovered and use even today. Again, this video may not be up forever, so please watch it while you can. If you're anything like me, you probably just want the very best for your child, to be happy, healthy, and successful in life. And you probably feel an overwhelming love for your child, like you just do anything for their well-being. But sometimes your child just drives you crazy. Now, I remember the first time I saw a mother go ballistic on her child at the park. We went to this park all the time, and so did dozens of other parents with their kids because it had a large playground. And I was there busy playing with my son, and then I heard some tense yelling. Now, you may have seen this before. It's late in the day, Mom is hungry and tired and wants to go home to prepare dinner. But her daughter's having so much fun that she puts up a fuss and defies Mother. Then the mutation begins. The loving mother transforms into a scary monster, yelling and yanking her child into the car while the kid flails and throws a tantrum. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion. It's painful to look at, but also impossible to look away. Now maybe you've seen this before. Maybe this sounds like someone you know. Maybe it sounds just like you. You see, the reason I made this presentation is because these kinds of dramas can be avoided. In fact, I'm going to explain to you right now the reason why kids don't listen, don't obey, and can sometimes just flat out drive you nuts. It's called the C factor. Let me explain. You know how when you get stressed, you actually feel the stress affect your body, your emotions, and your thinking? Well, the reason you feel that is because stress causes the adrenal glands in your body to release toxic hormones into your brain called cortisol. What typically happens before a child misbehaves is that there's a sudden or gradual increase of cortisol in the brain. This will cause children to become hyperactive, defiant, argumentative, unfocused, annoyingly whiny, throwing tantrums, not listening, and even become physically violent and aggressive. In fact, if this problem isn't addressed early on, the effects of toxic cortisol on the brain only get worse over time, which can even lead to teenage delinquency and sociopathic behaviors later in life. So surprisingly, the real reason why most kids misbehave can be found in the child's brain chemistry. You see, the C factor is the synergistic effect of both the things that increase cortisol in the brain versus the things that decrease it. Simply put, what this means is that whenever cortisol levels go down, children will listen, behave, and relate better with the world around them. And when cortisol levels go up, then children will misbehave. And what we've discovered is that most parents are actually causing cortisol levels to go up in their children by making innocent mistakes in how they discipline their children. And that's why the best discipline method in the world is discipline without punishments or rewards. The reason why this is true is because using punishment gets kids to obey out of fear. And using rewards also gets kids to obey out of fear, the fear of not getting the reward or not getting their parents' approval. In both cases, their motivation is fear, not love, and not sincere cooperation. And what happens in the body when someone feels fear is what scientists call the fight or flight reaction. This is your body's natural defense mechanism. You see, the fight or flight reaction is the body's reaction to fear. What happens when you feel fear is that there's a surge of hormones into your body. And these hormones give you a rush of energy so that you can fight or run from the danger. So one of the main hormones released during fear is cortisol. So the end result is an increase of the cortisol levels in the brain. This is why when you use punishments or rewards, your child may initially behave, but without taking the necessary steps to decrease the cortisol levels, the misbehavior keeps coming back. And soon, you'll find that even punishments and rewards no longer work, leading to all kinds of meltdowns, arguments, ADD and ADHD-like symptoms, tantrums, backtalk, and the violent outbursts will continue or even get worse. So that makes punishments and rewards one of the biggest time wasters and least effective ways for getting a problem child, an oppositional defiant child, an ADD or ADHD child, an autistic child, or really any child for that matter, to really listen and respect you. Hang with me for just a minute. I'm going to share with you 3 powerful keys to actually get any child to really listen, so that your child respects you and cooperates with you without feeling the need to rebel against you. So here they are. Key number 1. You need to realize that you're surrounded every day by parents who discipline their kids the wrong way. They may claim their methods to be harmless. In reality, they can lead to all sorts of behavior problems. If you think timeouts and raising your voice are necessary evils to discipline your child, think again. These practices can actually make your child's problems worse. Key number 2, the 3 reasons for misbehavior. Despite what you hear from most behavioral experts, children do not act out to try to spite you. The biggest mistake most parents make is that they try to solve the wrong problem without understanding the real reason why their child is misbehaving. The 3 reasons for misbehavior are this. Number 1, that they have a legitimate need, such as food, water, rest, affection, etc. Number 2, that they're stressed and therefore they have a cortisol buildup in the brain and aren't able to think clearly. Number 3, that they need information. They may not know that their behavior is undesirable, and they may just need some communication or education about the situation they're in. So although we've talked already about cortisol and the C factor, it's important to remember that your child's misbehavior is not always caused by stress. So if you don't know what the cause is, you'll end up just frustrating yourself trying to fix the fruits without addressing the roots. Now, let me explain this. It's called the fruit and the root story. Now imagine you had a fruit tree and you didn't like the fruit it produced. Maybe they were too small from poor soil quality, or maybe they were just plain rotten. Well, the smart thing to do would be to fertilize and water the roots of the tree. But imagine instead that you decide to solve this problem by going to the grocery store, buying some fresh fruit, and then tying them onto your tree. Your neighbors would think you're crazy. But that is exactly the same approach many parents take. They focus on the fruit of the problem rather than the root. You see, defiance and not listening is really the fruit, while the root is respect and trust. That's why using techniques to stop defiance without first establishing respect from your child is a recipe for disaster. But if a child respects you, they will not be defiant, they will not rebel, and they'll tend to cooperate easily and happily without putting up a fuss. Key number 3, how to help your child's behavior. Did you know that in most cases you can control your child's behavior naturally? It's true. we've discovered dozens of simple and effective ways for you to avoid undesirable behavior and teach your child to become more cooperative, respectful, loving, and genuinely well-mannered. So what's the absolute best way to get your child to respect and listen to you? I want to introduce you to Isaac Romano and Ashley Ryan. Now, Isaac Romano has over 30 years of experience working with parents and children. He's completed his PhD program with expertise in child development theory and related neurosciences. He's also been featured in the New York Times, Fox News, and on CBC, and is known as the Mr. Rogers of Canada. And Ashley Ryan is a world-renowned parenting coach and the author of From Misbehavior to Great Behavior. She's a leader in parenting education, and she's interviewed dozens of authors and experts from around the world. She's also a loving mother and the dean of faculty at the Parent Learning Club. Together, Isaac, Ashley, and myself have a combined 50 years of real-life experience in child behavior, development, discipline, and parenting. And finally, after years of practice and research, together we've put it all together in a simple guide that teaches parents how to stop undesirable behavior by fixing the problem at the root. You see, we believe in a brighter future. Our dream is for all parents to discover these methods so they can experience stress-free parenting and raise happy children who grow up to be happy and successful adults. Our best-selling program, The Happy Child Guide, is exactly that, the guide to raising a happy and cooperative child. Our program goes beyond just discipline and shows you how to make 3 simple changes in your routine that can eliminate 70% of the causes of your child's undesirable behavior. So after you learn these surprising facts, you'll not have to struggle anymore with having to punish or bribe your children just to get them to listen. Now I'll take you inside our program in just a minute, but first I wanted to share with you what others have experienced with it. Here's a story from Marlene Vaughan from South Wales, Australia. She tried our program and she wrote in saying, "My son is only 9 years old, and for the past 2 years, he had been picking up bad habits at school. Before I found the Happy Child Guide, I was so worried and stressed about him. But thankfully, I found your website because now the defiance, lying, backtalk, and outbursts have completely stopped." Then there's Georgette Lacoste from Locust Grove, Georgia. "Ashley, I'm a 32-year-old mother who started your program about 3 to 4 weeks ago. Yesterday, my sister said, 'Your kids are behaving so well. What are you doing?' I felt great. It's working. Before, I was one of those parents who was always losing it on my kids in public, and I couldn't understand why I couldn't get them to ever listen. Now I understand." And then there's Sharon Little from Calgary, Alberta. "I was at my wit's end with my daughter when a friend suggested that I visit this website. I have to admit, I was very skeptical at first. I tried many things and nothing seemed to work with my aggressive and angry 5-year-old. Within just 2 weeks of using the formula, I started noticing a dramatic difference in my daughter." And here's just a few of the unique things you'll learn from the Happy Child Guide program. On page 38, you'll discover 12 specific types of food that aren't just healthy for your kids, but they can actually help fight ADD and ADHD symptoms. Some of these brain-boosting foods will shock you. And on page 41, the 5-step process that's more important than any of the discipline techniques. And this will guarantee that your child is cooperative and actually listens to you, even in situations where your child usually puts up a struggle. On page 67, there's this crazy trick that I learned that transformed the way I actually think about discipline. You see, I used to react and lose my patience a lot. But after I learned this trick, I'm now automatically more patient and I don't get triggered so much when my son is being annoying. On page 77, you'll learn what to do when your child starts to cry or throw a tantrum. And it's probably not what you think. This is where we reveal some pretty unusual techniques that will make a huge difference to your child's behavior. You'll learn how brain chemistry and crying are actually related, and how to use this knowledge in your favor. On page 83, you'll discover a fantastic trick that helps your child reduce stress buildup while also making sure that the root cause of the obnoxious behavior is taken care of. On page 28, you'll discover a type of saturated fat that is actually healthy for your child and can even support healthy brain metabolism. And on page 92, you'll get the 7 ultimate steps that stop the unruly behavior for good. These 7 steps you won't read about in any parenting magazines, and they're not about discipline. Now, here's what's really great. You don't have to wait more than a minute to get this revolutionary system today. In fact, you will have it within seconds because nothing is shipped to you, and you'll have instant access to the entire Happy Child Guide system in about 30 seconds, thanks to the power of the internet. And there's more. You see, to help support your parenting journey, we're giving away some extra free bonuses along with the Happy Child Guide system for a limited time. Let me show you. Bonus number 1 is a lifetime membership to the Parent Learning Club. This is an exclusive online parenting, learning, and support club that gives you access to interviews, articles, audios, videos, questions and answers, support, webinar invites, and special free gifts. And you can even ask questions to myself, Ashley, or Isaac through here. And you can only get this in the private members area. And you'll be very first to access any of this material for free, while other parents who don't get this bonus have to pay full price, which is $19.97 a month. Bonus number 2 are 6 special reports from leading parenting experts. World-famous parenting experts Pam Leo, Alfie Cohen, and others have generously allowed us to offer you these unique reports for a limited time, covering issues such as teaching your child about respect, dealing with bullying, media, divorce, siblings, physical affection, and other important situations that all parents are faced with today. These reports are a must-read for all parents who have children growing up in 2010 and beyond. Bonus number 3 is a 7-week Effective Alternatives to Punishment e-course. This program will teach you a combination of magic words and refocusing techniques that dissolve arguments instantly. You'll get this popular e-course for free to be delivered conveniently into your email inbox over 7 weeks. You'll learn great ideas and tips that you can implement into your normal routine right away. This e-course usually costs around $50, but you get it for free when you get the Happy Child Guide package today. Now, if you were to order these bonuses separately, our entire Happy Child Guide program would cost you around $199. But in order to help as many parents as we can, we wanted to make this as affordable as possible. So we put together a special offer for a limited time only, and through this video you're watching right now, you'll get it all. The entire Happy Child Guide system, which comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, plus all 3 bonuses for only $39.97. Oh, and here's another tip. When you get your personal copy of our Happy Child Guide program today, you'll want to read the 5-step process to building respect. This is more important than any discipline method you'll ever learn and starts on page 42. You will start to feel a lot less stressed as you start to watch your child become less defiant and more cooperative. Now after that, you'll begin to notice that a lot of the undesirable behavior will start to vanish. And that's an amazing feeling, let me tell you. And it will keep you right on target as you finally enjoy having a child that actually listens and cooperates. So the next step is to click on the button below this video and you'll get instant access to the entire Happy Child Guide system with all the bonuses. Remember, there is no risk. You can try the Happy Child Guide program for 30 days, and if your child's behavior doesn't improve, you can get a full refund. In fact, I don't think you should pay for something that doesn't work. So if this doesn't work for you for some reason, I don't want you to pay for it. So go ahead, try it today. You really have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So just click the button now and let's get started.